Silver just hit $84 and then immediately nosedived, wiping out gains in a matter of hours. Everyone is screaming about a crash, but I'm looking at the patterns. We have central banks hoarding gold while retail investors get flushed out of silver, a supposed arbitrage opportunity in Asia that might just be a mirage, and a panic over China's new export laws that everyone is misinterpreting. If you think the game is rigged, you might be right, but not in the way you think. I've been watching the wires, and what's happening in Shanghai versus New York tells two completely different stories, and I've saved the most critical piece of the puzzle, the truth about China's export ban, for the very end of this report. Before we dive into the wreckage, I need to ask you for a favor. Look, I don't have a massive corporate machine behind me. I don't have sponsors telling me what I can and can't say. It's just me, digging through the noise, verifying the data, and bringing you the truth. That kind of independence is expensive and it's exhausting. If you value what we do here, if you want to keep this channel alive and fighting, please hit that like button and subscribe. And if you can, consider using the YouTube Super Thanks feature. It means the world to me, personally, and it keeps the lights on in a world that prefers us in the dark. Let's talk about what just happened. We saw silver explode in early 2025, rallying hard, only to face a violent 10% correction almost instantly. It's brutal. It hurts. But if you've been in this game as long as I have, or if you listen to legends like David Morgan, you know this is textbook behavior. Morgan calls it the scare you out or wear you out phase. For nearly 20 years, silver drifted sideways, wearing people down until they gave up. Now, it's in the scare phase. It moves fast, exceeds your wildest expectations, and then drops $10 in a single session just to shake you loose. The primary purpose of a bull market isn't to make everyone rich. That's the lie they sell you. The real purpose is to buck off as many riders as possible on the way up. The market wants to take your position before the real peak happens. We see people panicking, asking if they should move into Bitcoin or options, looking for leverage. That is a classic contrarian signal. When conservative investors start asking about high-risk options, a pullback is guaranteed. We are seeing a shakeout of the weak hands, and I am fairly certain we haven't seen the ultimate top yet. But if you panic now, you lose. Here is the trap most of you are falling into, and it's a dangerous one. You are looking at the price of silver in dollars. You see the number go up, you feel rich. You see the number go down, you feel poor. But that is the wrong metric. The dollar is being reset. It is losing purchasing power every single day. If you judge your wealth by how many failing fiat dollars you can get, you are missing the bigger picture. You need to look at ratios. How many ounces of silver does it take to buy the Dow Jones? How many ounces to buy a median home? How many barrels of oil? That is real wealth. During the Weimar Republic hyperinflation, the stock market went up endlessly. People thought they were getting rich because the numbers were higher. But in real terms, against gold and silver, they were being wiped out. Gold is your stability, like a central bank. Silver is your volatile growth engine, like the Nasdaq during the tech boom. If silver is overvalued compared to real estate, you swap for real estate. If it's overvalued compared to stocks, you move to stocks. Stop looking at the dollar price, because that yardstick is broken. But here is where things get even more intriguing and where most people get slaughtered. You have to have an exit strategy. It feels good to watch the price climb from 50 to 80 to 100. You feel like a genius. But if you don't sell on the way up, you risk the round trip. Imagine riding silver from 50 to 100, refusing to sell because you got greedy, and then riding it all the way back down to 50. You endured all the volatility, all the stress, and you made nothing. You need a plan. When it hits 75, sell a little. At 85, sell a little more. You don't need to pick the exact top. That is an amateur's game. If you sell too early and it keeps going, who cares? You made a profit. You have fiat currency that you can then deploy into another undervalued asset. But holding on for a magical number that may never come or comes and goes while you're sleeping is financial suicide. Don't let your emotions drive the bus. Now let's address the rumors swirling about market manipulation. People are pointing to the CME raising margin requirements as proof of a conspiracy to smash the price. Is it true? Yes, they raise margins, but it's not just a conspiracy, it's a mechanism to flush out leverage. We saw this with palladium years ago when Ford switched catalytic converters and the price spiked. The exchange hiked margins to 2 times the cash price to force people out. It happens. It's ugly, but it's part of the plumbing. And then there is the Asia situation. We are seeing massive physical premiums in Shanghai, sometimes $8 over spot. It looks like a perfect arbitrage opportunity, right? Buy here, sell there. But if it were that easy, The gap would close instantly. The fact that it hasn't suggests the paper market in the West and the physical market in the East are decoupling, but don't bet the farm on it. These arbitrage windows usually slam shut very quickly. Finally, we have to talk about the story everyone is getting wrong. The news out of China regarding export restrictions starting January 1st. The internet is on fire claiming China is banning silver exports, that the supply chain is being cut, and a massive squeeze is inevitable. I need you to listen closely. This is hype. It is fear-mongering. China is not banning exports. They are implementing a licensing system. They want to track what is leaving the country, specifically to clamp down on the black market trade into India. It is a bureaucratic hurdle, not a blockade. It's paperwork. Will it slow things down? Maybe a little. Will it stop the flow of silver? No. Don't let sensational headlines bait you into making a bad trade. The market is emotional enough without inventing crises that don't exist. So, where does that leave us? Silver is volatile, the dollar is dying, and the news is filled with half-truths. The key is to stay calm. Treat gold as your savings account and silver as your speculative engine. Don't get shaken out by a $10 drop, but don't get greedy and ride the roller coaster all the way back down to the bottom either. Take profits on the way up. Look at value, not price. And for heaven's sake, double-check the headlines before you panic. I hope this clears the fog for you. We are living through history, and it pays to keep your head when everyone else is losing theirs. If this analysis helped you see the cracks in the narrative, please subscribe and leave a comment below. Consider supporting us with a super thanks so we can keep doing this work. I'll be back tomorrow watching the wires so you don't have to. Stay sharp. Look, before you go, I want to take just a moment here to talk about what keeps this channel running. If you found value in today's breakdown, if the analysis helped you see through the noise and make sense of what's actually happening with silver, I'd be grateful if you'd hit that like button and subscribe. It sounds simple, but it makes a real difference in helping us reach more people who are looking for honest, independent reporting. And if you're in a position to go a step further, consider becoming a channel sponsor or using the Super Thanks feature. Here's why that matters. Every video you watch here represents hours, sometimes days, of work. We're reading transcripts, cross-referencing sources, verifying claims, making sure we're not feeding you clickbait or recycled misinformation. In a media landscape drowning in fake news and rushed analysis, that verification process, it takes time, it takes effort, it costs money, but it's worth it because you deserve better than headlines designed to manipulate you. You deserve journalism that respects your intelligence and your time. Your support, whether it's a like, a comment, a subscription, or financial backing, it allows us to keep doing this work without compromising our independence. We're not beholden to corporate sponsors or editorial boards. We answer to you. So drop a comment, let me know what you think, what you'd like to see next. And thank you truly for being part of this community. We're building something real here, and I'm honored you're along for the ride.